So when we look at sprint car racing, okay, you have the biggies. Okay, we understand the Knoxville Nationals, which we did not have this year.
Ugh.
Okay, then we understand the Kings Royal, which we did not have this year. Right there with it, you've got the National Open, which,
Yay!
oh my gosh, we do have this year. So we've got the National Open coming up this weekend. Posse versus Outlaws versus Larson. I'm going to add Stewart in on that list because Shane Stewart.
Yeah, he has
Shane
been.
Stewart has become, it's just, the other teams are starting to get sick of him showing up at these races.
Yeah.
He's taken spots from full-time racing deals.
Podium spots.
Podium spots, exactly. Stewart's doing good. So you've got that going on. So when you look at the big ones in 360 racing, okay, really kind of similar. We had the Knoxville 360 Nationals. We had that, but we lost Dirt Cup out at Skagit, so we lost that one. We had the McMillan Hockett Memorial just a couple weeks ago. Sam Haverty won that. But one of the big ones is the Comp Cam's Short Track Nationals. And what do you know? That falls on the same weekend. So this weekend we have the Short Track Nationals too.
Yeah.
Man, and that is just that is
that
probably
racetrack is.
Oh my God, that is like bucket list.
elbows up.
Oh yeah, you pull onto the road.
Yeah.
That drives to the speedway, and you got to get your elbows up just to get there. That's how. And when they get going around that joint, I'm telling you,
Yes.
and that thing, you want to talk about wide open. We'll talk about that a little bit later on, but you want to talk, because there is one of 40 drivers that can win that race.
Easily, yeah.
I mean, it's unreal. That thing. And so we've got them both this weekend. Oh, my gosh. What are we going to do? We're going to love it. That's what we're going to do. She's Erin Evernham. I'm Steve Post. This is Wing Nation, presented by Dryden, by DRF Racing, and by Hercules Tires. We're in the Hercules Tires studio. So one of the drivers that is going to go to Williams Grove is Wayne Johnson, one of the competitors for the Rookie of the Year. And we just haven't talked to Wayne. We talked to Wayne before all of the Rona and everything else. And as he was a burgeoning young driver going out on his rookie campaign. Well, he was a burgeoning young driver, but that was a few years ago. He was a grizzled veteran going out for his rookie campaign, and he's probably earned a few gray hairs this year. But he is on the road, digging, surviving.
Doing it.
And there's a lot of people that haven't done it that want to do it. So we're going to talk to Wayne Johnson here on the program. Can't wait to talk to one of our buds, that's for sure. Hey, also, we had Bill Baylog on our Tuesday show. Go back and listen to that one. And here's one of the highlights. This was from Dodge County Fairgrounds on Friday night. Scotty Thiel and Bill Baylog. Ray Underwood with a call on Flow Racing.
And now for the Dryden death-defying move of the week, where one driver simply amazes us with their on-track moves.
And now Bill Baylog is within striking distance. The nightmare is starting to cast the dark clouds on the 64. Slide job in front of Scotty Thiel, and Baylog takes over the lead with 8 to go.
That death-defying move was brought to you by Dryden Diesel All Death, the official DEF of the World of Outlaws and wheelmen everywhere. Visit Dryden.com for more information.
Pride. Passion. Performance. We are Team Dryden.
Power isn't born, it's built over time. For over 65 years, Hercules Tires has been providing the muscle to move more drivers. Whatever the vehicle, whatever the terrain, and we back it with a powerful protection plan. So wherever the road or the trail takes you, we have the selection, value, and strength to get you there. Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength.
Wing Nation, presented by Dryden, by DRF Racing Oils, and by Hercules Tires, continues on. We're going to the Sage Fruit Hotline, okay? Earlier this season, we talked about every young driver wants to go out and race for Rookie of the Year, And then there's some other guys that want to race for Rookie of the Year that have a year or two under their belts. And we had that this year with the World of Outlaws. One of those guys that has a year or two under his belt but is competing for the Rookie of the Year in the World of Outlaws is Wayne Johnson, who joins us now. Hello, Wayne. Welcome back to Wing Nation.
Thanks, Steve, for having me on.
Well, I'm telling you, Wayne, it's been a weird year, no doubt about it, with all of the Rona and everything like that. And I'm fairly confident it's not been quite as successful as you had hoped for. But you tell us, how do you assess this year and your rookie season for the World of Outlaws and what's been going on with you guys?
Well, I think, like I said, you've asked me this question earlier in the year, and I thought the task was going to be a lot simpler. I can promise you that.
Yeah.
I really thought we would be a little more competitive, and felt like that, if all the stars aligned, we'd probably win a race this year. But, I'm still focused, and that's my goal. But, man, I tell you right now, it's been tough. There's a reason that these guys are the best in the business, and just I tell you right now, they beat you down every week when you don't run well. But just learned a lot. Been doing this a long, long time, and thought that we were going to be on top of our game right away. But just in the last month, I hired a full-time crew chief. I've got Rob Hart wrenching this thing now, and already picking up speed. We had a bad race at Lernerville this week, but learning each other and starting to come together, and he's pointing out a lot of issues that we had with the car and a few things that I thought were good enough, but they're definitely not at this level. And he's definitely picking up our program. So hopefully here, I think we got 10, 12 races, whatever left. Hopefully we can definitely shine here at the end and see some improvement.
When you look at making the step that you did to run with the World of Outlaws, and you talk about not being as good as you thought you were, or you thought you were prepared to be, what are some areas that you feel like you've struggled the most? Is it motor? Is it setup? Is it just the beating down of racing with these guys every night? What do you think is the biggest part?
Well, there was a lot, Erin, to be honest. The engine program that we started with was quite not up to snuff, and we've changed that. And then we've had a couple of issues, and they might have been, something that we've done that messed them up, or this, that, and the other. Just like something we found this week that they went to Kistler after Lernerville, and the engine that was in the car was 50 horsepower off of what it was when it was dynoed. And I just told Rob I felt like I didn't have the power that I needed to, it's something that, I felt like during qualifying I laid down the best absolute lap I have all year long. We were still 13th quick, and I just told him, I said, I didn't feel like it made speed, but the race cars drove really nice. But really, more than anything, I overdrove the car early. We had engine issues that now I think we have that kind of headed in the right direction. And then with Rob in, a crew, I guess I want to say that where I really messed up was thought I could be the crew chief and the driver and the team manager and all of that stuff in one. And there's no way in hell that you can do that at this level. Trying to watch the track, drive the car, and tune the car all at the same time is almost impossible.
And Wayne, I think the thing of it is because nobody else is doing that. That's if everyone was doing that, maybe a guy could do it. But the problem of it is while you're team managing and crew chiefing it, David Gravel and Sheldon Hodenshield are out looking at the racetrack. Is that's part of the challenge of this thing is that everybody has a good crew chief and maybe a good mechanic and a good driver as well.
Well, it takes a team for sure.
Yeah.
We got a great car owner, and he's given us all the tools that we need to be able to win. But as a team, the driver, the mechanic, the crew chief, everyone has to gel. And we've seen this years past, and I've kind of overlooked it, to be honest with you. I didn't think that really needed to be that. I shouldn't say that we didn't need to gel. We all got to get along and all that. But that's the biggest issue that I see. You have to be a team and win as a team, lose as a team. And, you got four grown men running up down the road together. Tension gets high, lots of griping and bickering. I don't want to eat there. Yeah, we're going to eat there. I don't want to wake up at that time. Yeah, we're going to wake up at that time. There's just a lot that goes on that people do not get to see. Mm-hmm. That, when it was just me and old Slip running up and down the road running 360, it really wasn't a lot. of that. But when you throw a couple more guys into the mix, and it's definitely stressful, I promise you. And that's another thing that I didn't think that the stress level would be nearly as high as it is. And like I'm home this week, I've been flying back and forth, and it's helped my mental state a bunch because I just show up, drive the car. They don't want me there at the track before 4 o'clock. And that's kind of Rob's deal. He said, listen, Donnie Shoss don't show up till 4 o'clock. Why do you need to? So it's been a big step for me lately because I'm not used to that. But I believe our performance is starting to show that.
So interesting. I mean, you made such good points about just being on the road with a bunch of guys and making the small decisions. And then when you're not running well, it all kind of snowballs. Wayne, you've won a ton of races in your career, whether it's ASCS, Knoxville. When you go out and you're running with these guys and you're not running well, you mentioned overdriving the car. I mean, for someone like who you have had so much success, how difficult is the mental part of it as a driver?
It's a big part. It's a big part, Erin. It's probably the biggest part. And you know, when we started this thing at the first of the year, you know, I put myself in the gym, got myself in shape, and I told myself, you know, I always put in 110% at every race that I've ever ran, and now I've got to put in 150%. And I was just, to be honest, I've been overdriving the car, and what that means is like Rob got onto me, and I mean, really chewed my butt at Houston. I passed 2 cars in the heat race and 1 and 2 on a restart, and got to a transfer spot, actually got to 4th, and then run down the McFadden down the back straightaway into 3 and thought I was going to drive by him also, and then made a big mistake and lost everything that I gained in the other corner and ended up not making a transfer spot. I pulled in after the heat race, and he said, what in the hell were you doing? I said, man, I'm passing cars or trying to. He goes, what makes you think you're going to pass 3 World of Outlaw cars in a half a lap? Calm down. That's what he said. And then I just realized, you know, I was really trying too hard. You know, you get behind the 8 ball, and you're a race car driver.
Yeah.
You get behind the 8 ball, then you really feel like you got to step it up. And I just calmed down and slowed my feet down and started thinking a little bit more about the racing. And you're not just going to drive by these guys. I mean, I hate to say it this way, like some of the 360 guys are at the local level. You know, you can pass 3 or 4 guys sometimes in a lap and make it stick. But at this level, you're not doing it. You get a car. You know, it's more methodical. You got to think about what the next corner or the next lap is going to hold, because if you pass these guys, then you put yourself in the wrong spot on the racetrack. Well, they're going to drive right back by you because you overdrove that corner. And that's kind of what I'm having to learn all over again.
I watched that heat race at Huset's and wondered, because I saw you pass those cars, and I'm like, man, that's great. Looks like Wayne is good. And then I saw you kind of give it back. So it's fascinating that that one kind of sticks out, and I recall that. Wayne, one of the other challenges this year that everybody has had is the scheduling, the COVID, the you're racing here, you're not going to I-70, you're going here. What has that been like? And you've spent a good portion of your year as team manager. That's had to have been a nightmare as well.
Yes, it is. You know, as far as the logistics, as far as motels, travel, airfare, and you know, I'm still trying to burn up all of the airfare that I had flights booked for California, and you know, thank God the airlines are really flexible right now and let you use that up. But it has been a total nightmare. You know, right now there's an issue of, are we going to Charlotte? Are we not going to Charlotte? Are we going to end up at Volusia? Nobody knows, so we're sitting here in limbo, not, you know, booking rooms or anything for the team because we don't know where to do that at. And it has been a crazy, crazy year. But with that being said, I'm kind of going to let the cat out of the bag right now. We are already planning on our sophomore season next year with the Outlaws, and hopefully, you know, it's going to be a much better year.
Oh, excited to hear that. Really excited to hear that for sure.
I mean, a rookie season with the Outlaws is tough as is, but then you add in COVID, you add in that you're the team manager, all these new days on the road. I mean, you really did put yourself, you picked a good year to try it out.
Well, you know, I'm glad. I shouldn't say I'm glad for COVID because I'm not, but it made the season a little shorter and it made it a little more hectic. So with that being said, you know,
next
year on a normal season, hopefully I can do a better job as you know, the team manager for one, but actually also doing the driving part. And like I say, with Rob along, you know, John and Flippy are doing a great job also, but with Rob along, it takes a lot of pressure off me. You know, I'm home today, sitting here trying to make plans for the next 2 or 3 weeks on if I'm coming home or if I'm staying out or this, that, and the other. And that's with the schedule we know we're doing, Williams Grove and Port Royal and Lakeside and Lake of the Ozark, so those are my next 3 weekends, and I've got that planned out. But, then we got, like I say, that Charlotte thing, and just not sure there. So it is the craziest season ever. It's going to be crazy season for me because, for one, I don't remember the last year I haven't won a race, and I haven't won a race this year, and it's really bearing on me that I don't know how many years I've raced, but I think just about every season in my whole career that I've won a race, at least one race that year, and at this level, it's going to be hard to do. Not saying we're not going to keep plugging away and doing the best we can to do it, but man, that's just a thing that I really cherish, that we've won a race every year up to this point in my career, and maybe not going to get that done this year, so it's pretty stressful.
Well, hopefully you got about a dozen more races. Hopefully you can sneak one in there. Wayne, how is the fitness and the diet? You were so good about it in the off season. That's difficult to do on the road with when you're talking about stopping at fast food restaurants and picking places to eat, especially with COVID. Restaurants closed and hotels closed. Have you been able to stay on top of that, and how difficult has it been?
It's been super difficult. I've stayed on top of it as well as I feel like I could with everything going on. I think I put on 4 pounds of the 40 that I took off, but I'm home, so I was in the gym this morning, and as far as the diet thing, it's really tough on the road. Late nights because I eat lunch, and then I don't normally eat again until after the races. It's kind of our deal, and I've been trying to keep snacks and stuff in the trailer. I'm a big peanut eater as of late because of the protein, but just it's tough. It really is. It's probably the toughest thing that traveling down the road, but I've done well. I just feel like I could do better, but maybe a motorhome or something in my future would be better, where I could have some decent meals on the road, because the travel thing is, these guys are, I shouldn't say it, but the quickest thing they can get is McDonald's or whatever they are, and then you just got to make the best choices you can, because that's all there is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it was.
I know. It's just the traveling I do with it's just weekend in and weekend out. It's one of the toughest things in the world to do, because the temptation and the fast
Control
food nature of it
and
everything else just makes it. And then you're busy at the track. It's crazy.
Well, speaking of that, I was flying home on Sunday, and I was at I don't remember what airport. At Pittsburgh Airport. There was nothing open, and I needed breakfast. I hadn't ate. It was 5:30 or 6 o'clock in the morning, and I was starving because I didn't have much of a meal for dinner. And you're gonna laugh, but my breakfast consists of corn nuts. That was the only thing that I could come up with at the airport was corn nuts. So that was my breakfast. So not a great choice there, but I had to have something.
What are corn nuts?
See, you're not from the South, so you don't know what corn nuts are.
You know what corn nuts are?
Steve, you know what corn nuts
No,
are?
I'm not from the South either, though.
Wow, Steve doesn't know a food. You might have set a record. This might be a first.
Well, most people would probably frown at them, but I've ate them since I was a kid, and that was the only thing that looked appealing at the moment, and that's what I grabbed.
What, is it candy corn? Is it like the candy corn?
No, it's I'm not even sure what you would call it. It's corn nuts.
I need to Google this. What are corn nuts?
Salty. I don't know, not even a potato chip. I'm not even sure. It's a corn nut. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it.
Okay.
I know one thing, Steve.
Yeah.
And Erin, when I see you next, I'm bringing a bag.
corn nuts.
Erin's Googling it, so we'll get it.
Oh, there's different flavors.
Google has all the answers. Oh.
Corn nuts. Never seen them in my life. Have you seen corn nuts?
Oh, you know what? I have seen them. I've never had them. And Wayne, I concur, that's probably not the best breakfast food in the world.
Never seen them.
No, but there was not many options.
The only one. It was the only one.
I had to have something. There wasn't much. I was looking for fruit. I was looking for anything.
Yeah.
And it was either potato chips or corn nuts or Cheez-Its or something. I can't remember my options there.
Yeah.
Or maybe a pastry, but I chose corn nuts.
Well, Wayne, I'm telling you, for you as a rookie driver and for the guys battling for the World of Outlaw Championship, it doesn't get easier the next 2 weeks. Williams Grove and Port Royal. The mindset going into the war zone you're going into for the next week, what is that like as a race car driver?
You know, I'm not putting a lot of pressure on myself, and the reason I'm not is because I feel like that we're definitely getting better,
Yeah.
and we just got to let the chips fall where they may. And I know this is going to be a tough beat the next couple of weeks, but you know, those guys, Rob and Flip and John, have really started to gel on that end, so I don't stress about the car, and I feel like they're going to have the best piece. I was on the phone with those guys just a half hour ago, and it's down to a bare frame. They're completely rebuilding this thing for the weekend, and they're putting a brand new Kistler engine in it for this weekend. And so, you know, I know that all that's going to be there now, and I just got to do my part and do a better part of it. But I'm not putting any stress on myself any more than I guess I normally would. And, you know, having a great car owner with Todd, they don't put any pressure on me to win right away or anything. They, you know, he just keeps telling me to keep plugging away and it'll come. And the biggest issue, the hurdle that I feel like our car drives good. I feel like we race well. I just feel like we still struggle at qualifying, and that's the thing that I've got to work on the most. So I've been watching lots of videos for those racetracks and just trying to sort all of it out. But I'm not, you know, I'm pretty relaxed. I really am right now as far as no stress level. Just go out and do the best you can. And when everything starts, you know, when everything comes together, then the results will be there. And I feel like we're getting really close.
That's awesome. Wayne, for as long as I've known you, you've always been very hands-on with the car. Has that been, I know you said it's a sense of relief and you can watch videos now, you can watch the racetrack, but is it kind of difficult to let the control of the car go?
Yeah, it is, you know, because I've always been, you know, on top of everything. I've done every bit of, you know, before. I've done every aspect of working on it. I've done the drive and the truck, you know, I did all that stuff. And to be honest with you, it's kind of nice not to have to, but it's also, you know, a stress level of, you know, are they getting it done or what are they doing? And I'm home and they're working, you know, and then like when I'm at the track, I feel like I'm obligated to help, but they don't want my help. So it's definitely difficult because just like I said earlier, they don't want me there till 4:00. Well, most hotels, you got to check out by noon. I got 4 hours of figuring out what I'm going to do between you know, noon and 4, and I don't want to go eat. You know, I don't want to go eat and have a big meal and this, that, and the other. And you know, it's really difficult. It really is. I mean,
yeah.
You know, that question is probably better for Sarah because she'll tell you that I drive her nuts now. Between, you know, I'm home and then, you know, I cut the grass. That's about all there is left to do here. I'll cut the grass, and then she's like, "You're stir crazy, right?" And I go, "Yeah, I don't know what to do." So it is definitely. It feels good not to have to do all that, but in the same token, when you're used to doing it all, it's tough. But I'm trying to get that balance, and you know, there's been a lot of balances in my life this year with travel, World of Outlaws, you know, not winning a race, and it's been difficult. But I'm just trying to go with the punches and learn from it, and let you know. My biggest thing was, you know, I had guys hired in the past to do things, but I'd still do it myself, and that comes from my dad. He would, you know, he had 100 employees at his business, and he'd still be out there working. And I never understood that until, you know, now with me having employees or whatever, and not letting them do their work. And that's what Todd keeps telling me. Let them take care of it. Let them do the, you know, I was trying to plan their hotels and stuff for them when I wasn't with them. And he's like, you don't know where they're going to be. Why would you want to let them take care of that? So that's another thing that I've kind of let them do. But I'm telling you, well, you know what? You live with a guy that probably is a lot more hands-on than I've ever been. So you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but that's also why I asked you the question. I spend enough time with you and at your shop that I know your work ethic as well. Wayne, how's my buddy Paige doing?
Doing great. She just had 13th birthday on Saturday. Teenager.
Holy.
Oh, goodness. Lots of, you know, I shouldn't say it this way, but lots of drama.
Of course.
13-year-old girl and her friends, and you know, and all that good stuff. But doing great. The girls are great. Everyone's great here. Just, man, 13. Can you believe she's 13?
No, I can't. My little buddy at the racetrack. Holy.
Please
Please tell her I said happy birthday and hello.
I will definitely do that. Hey, before, I know you guys are getting ready to cut me off, so before you do that, I want to give my podcast a plug.
Oh yes, please do.
Yeah, well, you know, Wednesdays with Wayne. I don't know if you guys are listening. But, man, we are definitely rocking and rolling. That thing is growing. I owe it all to Sarah because I was always – I don't know anything about social media, for one, but I was always the guy that thought what you did on the racetrack is what you did to sell T-shirts and that and this and the other. And it's not that way anymore. It's all about the fans and interaction with the fans and all of that. And, man, I'll tell you what, this podcast is really growing. Wednesdays with Wayne every Wednesday, and she was giving me some stats this morning because we just recorded today. We're up to like 9,000 followers. So.
Wow, that's
congratulations, boy! And
it's rocking and rolling. We're having a good time with it. It's a lot of fun.
Wednesdays
At first,
with
I
Wayne.
wasn't sure about it, but it's a lot of fun.
Well, that's funny you say that because we chatted with David Gravel earlier this week. He hired a video guy, okay, because he does these video snippets. He does his YouTube thing, but he does the video stuff, and he talked about the same thing. And then he talked about Rico with his presence, and he can't imagine how many shirts Rico sells. And so, the reality of the world in 2020 is On Track takes care of a portion of it, but you're right. You got there's other stuff that needs to be done. I'm glad you've entered that world. That is cool stuff.
It is very cool. And like I say, there's a lot of interaction there. And I never understood that as a kid, I remember going down and sitting in the cars and talking to the drivers, and that was the coolest thing ever. But, if on social media, if you can chat with a driver, if there's a question you want to ask, you can email or send a show of, there's just a lot of variables that I really never understood. And you're right. He's done a really good job with this, and it's helped T-shirt sales.
Nice.
And, the following of Wayne Johnson. So that's been pretty cool, and I'm learning it, and I don't know how to tell you where to go look or any of that stuff, but I know
all right, Sarah's
got to
give you some bullet points.
Go find it.
Wherever podcasts are available, right?
That's right.
That is awesome. Wayne, it is always a pleasure to chat with you. We're going to dial you up after that win, and we're going to have a big old celebration here on our broadcast. But congratulations on survival this year, and we appreciate your time and love the friendship we have with you as well.
Yes, thanks for having me on. It's always good to hear from you guys. And, I don't know, Steve, when that first win does come, you're probably going to have to give me a few days to recover before you have me on, because there's definitely going to be a big party. I won a lot of races in my career. We won the prelim of the Knoxville Nationals and lots of big races and this, that, and the other. But, I've never won a World of Outlaw race. And we're definitely, if that happens, we're definitely going to have probably about a 4 or 5 day long party, I'm going to say.
4 or 5 day long.
Little throwdown, that's for sure. Oh, well, nothing wrong with that. Hopefully we're there and we can have the throwdown with you. Hopefully it's one of them we picked to go to. So, there.
Well, I hope so.
There we go. Cool. Wayne, always a pleasure. Thanks for the time, man.
Yes, thank you.
You got it. Wow. I'll tell you, there are Wayne Johnson, we can laugh our way through a brutal season.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking with him because his perspective, and there's nothing in this sport he hasn't done.
It's true.
Other than win a World of Outlaw race. And he's putting himself in a spot where, and I'm glad they announced, one of the other things, I think the thing that I come out of here with, and I actually got a little bit of chills when he said that he's already going to let the cat out of the bag. Yeah. He's already planning for next year. How many times we see guys go on the road for the first time, we're like, man, this guy's sure thing. First year, he gets clubbed. It's just brutal. The World
it's brutal. I can speak from experience.
Why would you do that to yourself? But then all of a sudden, you know what happens the second year? Whoa, wait a minute. There's Wayne on the podium. Yeah. Or that. Remember, we went through this with Brent Marks.
Yeah.
It's like, why in the world would you leave Pennsylvania when you're up front all the time to go to California to get your teeth kicked in on a regular basis?
Because when you do have that success,
yes,
it's all worth it.
You've been there. You've
and then when you, like every driver we've talked to, when you go back and race locally or race with the old series, you've learned a lot.
That's great stuff. Man, I'll tell you what. I got to be totally honest with you this week. Okay, this week we had about 17 options as far as the podcast guest goes. And we were rolling through them. We have a list, okay?
Yep.
And so we're like, we need to get this guy. Okay, let's get this guy. Well, he couldn't do it. Work the list. Wayne's on our list. And it's like, well, Wayne, let's go Wayne. Boom, let's get Wayne. And, man, I'm glad we did it. Could not have been a better time to catch up with Wayne. He's home. He's got just wrapped up his podcast, so he's in a chatty mood. Oh, it's great
Wayne's
stuff.
always chatty.
Wayne's always chatty, that is for sure. Yes, indeed. Plan B Sales was founded in 2010. Started as a Lionel and Chase Authentics apparel distributor, and now has expanded. Auto World, Greenlight Collectibles, Sam Bass Artwork, Brand Art, and University of Racing lines as well.
They have a huge inventory with partnerships with Kyle Larson, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Christopher Bell, and many other drivers. Use promo code MRN for free shipping on orders over $20.
Stay with us. More Wing Nation in just a moment.
Pride. Passion.
Performance.
We are.
We are Team Dryden.
Power isn't born, it's built over time. For over 65 years, Hercules Tires has been providing the muscle to move more drivers, whatever the vehicle, whatever the terrain, and we back it with a powerful protection plan. So wherever the road or the trail takes you, we have the selection, value, and strength to get you there. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength.
You know, the auto... We're having a little conversation here. We're telling Wayne Johnson stories.
Oh, goodness.
Just you actually when you were out in Knoxville, when you were in Knoxville, you guys worked out of his shop for a while.
Yeah, he used to live just down the road from the track, so he let us work out of his shop. So we spent a lot of time with Wayne that year, and we were both. He was actually running ASCS, so his wife at the time and Paige were just down the road, but we'd see them often during the week. But we're actually there when he got really hurt. Remember, his foot injury.
The Achilles injury.
We ended up driving to the hospital and helping get them in the middle of the night. It was craziness, but yeah, we got to spend a lot of time with him, got close with the family, and he's just an incredible guy. He was so helpful that year.
If you are faint of heart, do not ask Wayne about that injury. And I'm totally serious.
Oh, trust me, I was there.
You were there?
Not at the racetrack. We were racing Knoxville that night.
It was out in West, right?
Yeah, but he flew back the next morning, and then of course, he's got the bandage. But yeah, I got every detail, gruesome picture.
I asked him one time. We're sitting in the pits in Knoxville. I said, didn't you hurt your ankle one time or your leg?" And the injury the description of the injury he had will make you faint.
Yeah, he's lucky that he still has his foot.
Absolutely.
Yes. And when he tells you what it was hanging on by.
Yes, exactly. The description of it was like, oh my God, dude, you given it's like too much information except for I asked and you want to know.
Yeah.
And then you see him and he's out working out, he's out exercising, he's out mowing the lawn now and everything, So kudos to him.
Yes.
I mean, it's fantastic. The auto industry is the backbone of America's economy, and Ford chooses to invest more in America because of its rich heritage here. The Blue Oval employs more U.S. hourly workers and assembles more vehicles in America than any other automotive maker. That's easy for me to say. Automaker by a wide margin.
So whether it's a Ford dealer in Kentucky or a technician in Indiana or an engineer in Michigan, we're proud to have them as part of the team. Ford, built for America.
We talked about this at the top of the show. It is a batten down the hatches weekend, okay? World of Outlaw, NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars versus Pennsylvania Posse versus Kyle Larson, Shane Stewart, Brian Brown, the whole cast of Invaders. It is the 58th annual Champion Racing Oil National Open. Friday night, $10,000 to win. Saturday night, $75,000 to win. It'll all be on Dirt Vision. With the Outlaws, of course, you got Brad Sweet and Logan Schuchart at the top of this thing looking for their first National Open wins. You've got Schatz as a 5-time winner of the National Open, Gravel a 2-time winner, and Darren Pittman, I'm almost like putting him in a posse car, but wait a minute, he's still an outlaw, even though he's driving. He's an outlaw because he's running the full tour.
I think everyone claims him.
Well, who wouldn't you want to claim? I mean, everyone loves Darren Pittman.
If he wins, everyone celebrates.
Well, yeah, he's finished second 5 times in this race. You imagine if he rolls in there with a Hefner 72 and wins that thing on Saturday night? Because you're right, everyone will claim him.
Yeah.
Because it's Hefner's car. I mean, the Red Robin, they might just as well. They'll be the Red Robin there. The Red Robin on Sunday will just sell out of ground beef. I mean, that would be the story.
Yes.
That would be there's going to be a great story because someone is winning one of those marquee races. But I'm telling you, Pittman wins this thing, and he's been second 5 times, so it's not like he's not been close. And he's back with Hefner. They had a lot of success at Williams Grove together. Leading the posse charge is that number 69K, Lance Deweese, a 4-time winner. Danny Dietrich has won the National Open 1 time. Brent Marks is the defending champion. And then Freddie Raymer is not. This is where it's almost like cruel, okay? Because Freddie Raymer is leading the Williams Grove points, and points are awarded during this National Open. We talk about this with the World of Outlaws, how this can be a separator, but it's also a separator.
Absolutely.
This is the season finale for Freddie Raymer.
Oof.
And that's like, I think, Wayne said a bad qualifying lap, or David Gravel earlier this week we talked to him. He said a bad qualifying lap, and you put yourself way in the back, and at Pennsylvania, you're way in the back. Yeah. So this thing is going to be spectacular on Dirt Vision. I mean, it is just, and Williams Grove, oh my gosh. And
I know.
They're going to be.
This is one of my favorite races. I mean, there's a lot of favorites, but something about the fall.
Yeah, and the rivalry and the moments and the time. I remember the year that Fred finally won it. We were in Kansas City, Missouri, and back in the day at MRN, we would have an occasional corporate dinner that would go on forever. Okay, and we had one that night. Yes, Krager's been part of those. He can ring the bell. Okay, so we have one of these. I said, you guys planned one of these dinners on the night of the National Open?
And most of the guys are saying,
yeah, exactly.
Who?
So I had Dirt Vision on in my room, but I said, I'm leaving and I'm not going to pay attention to it. Because I don't want to be that guy at dinner that is on his phone all the time also.
Oh, I totally do that sometimes.
Yeah, I know. Well, I was thinking about it, but I decided not to. So I said, and I'm so pissed that I'm going to put it out of my mind.
Yeah.
Forget that it happened. We get done with this dinner that lasted way too long because I think Brad Keselowski kept the room too long, and then we were late. And so whatever happened, and I don't remember if there was a delay or not, I walked down the hall and the key to the room, and before I even get the door open, I hear Johnny Gibson. I'm like, what? Wait, what? Huh? What? This is before they ran the re-air, too. They now back it up with a re-air right after it. And I'm like, wait a minute. I walk in, there's 10 laps to go, and Fred Raymer is leading the National Open. I'm like, are you kidding me? And I got to see the end of it.
Well, that's good timing after all that.
Oh, yeah, after all of that, I won. And Fred stopping at Beer Hill.
That was cool.
And somehow showing up in Victory Lane with a beer in his hand. I mean, so the National Open, you're right. It is special. It is special. And this one here with this year and the craziness and with Lance Deweese just looks so spectacular right now. He admitted to us a couple weeks ago that going to Knoxville last year put that team off their game. Yeah. And now a year later, they feel like they're back on their game. Well, that's bad news for everybody when they're on their game.
And when you beat Kyle Larson like he did.
Like he did at Port Royal, you're right. Yeah. And then that Larson guy.
Oh, yeah, we didn't even talk about him, but he's won a few races this year.
Yeah, he's won a few races. This is going to be
39 races.
Yes, exactly, 39, looking for number 40. Oh, my. What's up with that?
Sick.
Okay, so while the 410 Gentry is there, the 360s are going to be at I-30 Speedway, Little Rock, Arkansas, the 33rd annual Comp Cam Short Track Nationals. This is a Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour race. They go back and forth with these people. I think they fight with each other one year, and they're happy with each other the next year. The good news is everyone's getting along in 2020, and this is a tour race. So it's $10,041 to win. Blake Hahn is the defending winner. You think about the historic importance of this race. Listen to this.
Yeah.
Former winners, Sammy Swindell, Gary Wright, Steve Kinzer, Christopher Bell, Brad Sweet, Paul McMahon, Jason Myers, Jason Johnson, Tim Crawley, Jason Sides, Terry Gray, Wayne Johnson, Tony Bruce Jr. Are you kidding me? This is this year is turn number 2 at Knoxville.
Yep.
This is Hall of Fame. These have won these races. And this year it's fascinating because with the tour, you got Sam Hafertepe, Roger Crockett, and Harley White who have yet to win this race.
Yeah.
So, and Sam is on his A game right now.
Yes, he is.
I'm telling you, that is a guy, Sam is driving in there convinced he's going to win that race. And you take Sam with his skill, Sam with his team, and Sam with confidence, and he's going to be a handful for whoever. Okay? Oh, by the way, Mark Smith and Dominic Selzy are going to be there. But Mark Smith this year
has won.
Yeah, again, another guy's driving on the property with full expectations to win that race.
Yep.
And a good team and good sponsors with his partners with CRC and NGK spark plugs and his Mach 1 chassis. Yep. And he's going to pull onto that property expecting to win that race. And you take a guy with that talent that expects to win that. Right there with those two, you're going to have one of them's heartbroken.
Yep.
Okay? Oh, well, Derek Hagar, Dale Howard, Howard Moore. I mean, This one here, one of about 40 drivers could win this race.
Yep.
It's unreal. Flow Racing has the coverage, so it's going to be awesome. And so we're going to be all dialed in with Flow
lots of
there,
devices.
and lots of devices. And I just hope that they work this out so that they don't both start their A mains at the same time. Because poor little me sitting there. It's like you start your A mains at the same time. Can we not have a little coordination?
You gotta keep one eye on one.
I know there's 18,000 people at Williams Grove. Make them wait another 20 minutes so I can watch the end of this. Oh well. What's that? What do they say? First world problems?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Fast Series is at Atomic. Fremont has their fall championship. And Tri-Cities has the MOA Sprints over at Pontoon Beach, Illinois. Wow. I'm all jacked up because we just talked to Wayne Johnson. That right there gets me right out. I'm going to go. I want to go run a marathon tonight. I want to go
get
mow the
your
lawn
corn nuts.
and get my corn nuts. I got to go get my corn nuts for sure.
He said it like that was like totally normal too. And I'm looking at you like, all right, am I the one that doesn't know?
I've seen these before. And then I'm thinking, well, is it that candy corn? Because you can get that this time of year.
Yeah, well, I had no idea.
Yeah,
but I felt better when you didn't, because you of all people.
But I have seen the corn nuts before. I've just never had corn nuts before.
Wow.
There you go. Yeah.
Well, Wayne's getting us some next time we see him.
Wayne's getting us some the next time we
nuts.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to have those. Wing Nation apparel is available at www.wingnation.com. You can follow along with us on all of our social channels. We have a page and a group on Facebook. We have a YouTube channel where all of our great interviews are housed. And, of course, our Twitter, where we're encouraging everyone to continue to tweet your seat. Great stuff. Erin, it's been a blast this week. Had fun talking on Tuesday with Bill Baylog and David Gravel, and then today with Wayne. Man, we're all geared up for the big race weekend. Exactly. And the final conversation we have this week, you can catch that on our television show on Rev and Mav. It's Ashley and I, and it's with Brent Marks on that program as well. So speaking of success in Pennsylvania, Brent Marks as well. So neat stuff, that is for sure. Thanks again to Wayne Johnson for joining us. More important than all of that, though, thank you for joining us here on Wing Nation, presented by Dryden, by DRF Racing Oils, and by Hercules Tires.